The truth has been set free, and it's an ugly truth. What's up, YouTubers of the world? Making Geek Mixer here, ready to give you guys this week's episode of Doom Patrol. I can't say the number of it because I can't believe it's gotten to this point, guy. This is how much I love this show. I love it so much, I can't believe that I can't even say the word because I really don't want it to all. You know what I'm trying to say here, guys, because this is such a great show. This season's been amazing. The series has been amazing, and it's just the. Let's just get into the episode, cause boy, what a lot to unpack here. It is insane. It just wow. So let's just start off with the small part of the episode, and that is in the fact of Cyborg and his father getting some time to talk, and Silas Stone reveals more about what he's been keeping secret from his son. So it all looked like once Silas was finally awoken, it looked like he and his son would finally be able to look past all their issues, if not most of them, and finally truly be a loving father and son. But nope, not gonna happen, because this is where Silas really revealed the truth to how he became Cyborg and what happened to Cyborg's mother. Now, if any of you guys have been watching Doom Patrol from the very beginning and stuff, from when Cyborg has shown up, he always thought he caused the accident that killed his mother while he was turned into a cyborg when he was saved by his own father. But the truth is not that, actually. Instead, it's much more uglier than that. Well, not exactly, but kind of is if you look at it from Cyborg's point of view. Because it really isn't pretty, and that is in the fact that Cyborg, oh boy. It turns out Cyborg and his mother, now the accident did happen, but they were still alive afterwards. And Silas was hoping to save them both, but no, instead he ended up saving his son and letting his wife, Cyborg's mother, die. And why is that? Well, that's because of the chief. The chief believed that it would be best that Cyborg was saved over Silas's wife, and that was like the truthful pain for Silas to do in doing that, sacrifice his wife for his son. And I'm pretty sure even we can all agree that that's a tough road to follow. But even still, I think we would all agree that if you had to choose between the life of your son or your wife, I'm pretty sure even Cyborg's mother would have agreed that save their son, even if it meant turn him into a cyborg. But oh, no. That is not what's the real ugly truth of it all. The real ugly truth of it all was how, like, Silas Stone lied to Cyborg about that. And it's in the fact that he messed with his memories to make him think it was something different there. And well, once Cyborg found that out, once again back to square one, where Cyborg just detests his father. And hey, he got every reason to. I don't think we can disagree with that. Even if this was from the good of his heart, still lying about that and realizing it had been way too late to reveal the truth. There you go. Silas Stone, good luck in trying to repair this, because, man, that was a big whop. Big whop right there. And now, why don't we go ahead and go on into a little thing here that was foreshadowed to us at the beginning of the episode that led into the ending of the episode. And that was in the fact that we learned a little about Mr. Nobody's past. It turns out, even before he became Mr. Nobody, he was already a nobody. How was that? Oh, it was through the fact that he tried to be a part of the Brotherhood of Evil, hoping it would make him be a somebody. But the Brotherhood of Evil didn't like his ideas, and this girlfriend he had, girlfriend or wife or whichever, most likely girlfriend, she was getting tired of the fact that he was hoping to finally get somewhere in life, and she was hoping for that too, but it got to the point where she couldn't stand it anymore, all the constant failures, and she left him. She left him, and also she was mentioning how you're never going to be a somebody, you're just a nobody. That showed you right there, first off, where the nobody, where the alias Mr. Nobody came from. By the way, his real name's Eric, actually. Sometimes, though, I don't know if I'll be having a hard time calling him that compared to the actual casting of the person who plays him, Alan. Alan, yeah, I mean, that guy is so awesome with his role as Mr. Nobody. But either way, what really can, what I'm sorry, guys. This episode just came with jam-packed all sorts of things that I'm going nuts here. And I'm serious. I'm going nuts here in a good way. But let's try to get back on track here. Let's try to get back on track here. And well, let's start off with the fact that the Doom Patrol found out where Mr. Beard Hunter was, and what did you know? He actually found Danny the Street, and he started to stay there for all this time. He was off to find Niles and stuff, but he found out that, oh no, he found Danny the Street, and he decided to stay there. But hey, good news, the rest of the Doom Patrol gets to meet Danny the Street. Woo! and yeah, because like Robot Man, Crazy Jane, and Rita were all out there. We're all out there somewhere else while Cyborg and Larry met Danny the Street. And let's just say it was great seeing this moment where as soon as they land, Danny just pops out that thing of saying, Larry! He's fond of Larry. Can't say I blame him after what Larry did for him in the last episode. You can't blame him there. Rita being her first time seeing this, and the fact that she did live in that era where she was pretty prejudiced and stuff. She's not prejudiced anymore. But to be able to see all this stuff that she's never seen before took her off guard for one. But yeah, it turns out also though that Danny the Street is not only familiar with Larry. He's familiar with Flex Mentallo. That's right, guys. Flex Mentallo comes along with them on this mission to find the chief. He's still grieving over the loss of his wife, and it turns out even Danny knew about his wife too. So Flex and his wife Dolores, yeah, that's her name, Dolores, they actually knew Danny the Street. Makes me wish we could have at least gotten hope we get a future episode where they first met Danny and stuff. I would really like that. I really would. But yeah, it was great to see that Flex was acquainted with Danny the Street there. And they had a little moment of grieving times for like Flex and Danny to be able to grieve over Dorothy's passing. Passing. More like murder, because I still can't I still just hate the Bureau of Normalcy. Doing something similar to what Thanos did with the snap. Oh no, that was just low. But that aside and all, they eventually founded the Beard Hunter and found out that, yeah, like I said, he gave up on his search for Niles there. And it turns out, though, that Danny is able to help them in finding out where Niles is, because he could have told them before, but he didn't tell Larry and Cyborg because he's afraid of Mr. Nobody, which is no surprise there. I mean, it was already pretty much shown to us when we first met Danny the Street back in the episode he was in last time. So it was no surprise there. But when it finally came to about and it was revealed to us where he was, it turns out it was something known as the white space, which confused everyone in the Doom Patrol, mind you, but it didn't confuse Flex because he knew exactly what it was. And it turns out, here's a very interesting thing on what that white space is. It turns out, first off, that white space is that place we have been seeing all this time throughout all sorts of episodes. Whenever Mr. Nobody was shown, they're talking about that big white space where he's alone and there's nothing but white out there and he's with the chief and all. And here's how it is actually explained to us. And it's very interesting, mind you. And that is the fact the white space is the space with no dialogue, no story in a comic book for that matter. That's what they're saying. All that in those old school comic books where they had all that white space, that's what he's talking about. And that was an actually great, awesome way to talk about it. Great way to fill it in with how the fact that this is a show from a comic book series and how to fit in comic books with that. I love that. That was awesome. It was amazing. But here's where things get really interesting. So Flex knows how to get them in there. But the first attempt they try it is all sorts of hilarious, man. So first when he does it, though, they don't go in. Instead, the Doom Patrol and everybody else in that street just start going, oh, ah! I can't explain exactly what that was, so I had to do that. It was insane. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? All I knew was that it was just weird, bizarre, and funny how that all went down like that. It turns out the reason that happened because Flex flexed the wrong muscle. Mentala flexed the wrong muscle there. Well, here's what was even more funnier, and that the fact that Robot Man Cliff, since he can't be affected by that, and since he was just like feeling alone and stuff, he decided to join in and just just decide to join in and act along. Like, go with the act. I don't know what's going. He's like, Cliff's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm really feeling left out here, so let me join in on it. Oh, that was hilarious. Oh, man. But second try went well. They were able to get into the white space, but they didn't meet him directly. Instead, nobody tried to use that trick he used on them in episode 2 when they went into the donkey, and that was prey on their weaknesses. And that was in the exact day of Cliff's accident, Rita's accident, and Larry's accident, and I guess Jane with how she met the chief. And it was a way for nobody to try to get in their heads and make them change their decision around so they wouldn't have to be who they are now. But nope. It turns out, Mr. Nobody, you didn't win on that one this time, because after all this season, they were finally able to put all that aside and start to realize the better people they have become from it. Yeah, Larry, Cliff, Rita, and Jane, they all showed that, no, we're not falling for that, man. We've all been able to finally move on from that, so this is not going to work. And they're able to get out of it, and they're in the white space, but they're all lost. And let me just say, let me talk about Rita. Oh, man, Rita, she was amazing. As a matter of fact, when I was at my local comic book store this week, and me and my friend out there were talking about that, we were actually asking ourselves. Now we know the chief is the actual leader of this team, like the general leader, but we were discussing who would be the field leader, and when we actually discussed, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I also discussed this. I also mentioned who I think is the leader, because over in the community section of the DC universe, they even put on a topic of that in the community section there and saying who they think would be the leader. And I put in Rita, just like many others put in there, and that's exactly what I said to him there. And without a doubt, this episode shows that, yes, right on, Rita is definitely the field leader of this team. Because here's the thing, since they were separated, they were still in the white space, but they were all separated, and they were all still alone by themselves. And all that time, Mr. Nobody kept going on with the narration. But Rita, having enough of this, decided to be like, nope, let me show you how to really narrate, boy. because you are the worst narrator out there. You have bad writing. And that's when she was able to get the team back together. And let me just say, first off, great Easter egg moment when you got Robot Man, Negative Man, Elastigirl, and the Chief right there together, because those three were the original first members of the Doom Patrol ever before, like people like Mentalo, Crazy Jane, and all these others showed up. But eventually, when they got together and Jane came back as Dr. I think her name's Harriton or something like that. I forget, yeah, what the doctor was somebody we met back when they were dealing with that end of the world thing, that magic thing going on. But she showed up and they all learned about Nobody's weakness and the fact that that he's just like them because of something that happened to him. That being his girlfriend that I mentioned earlier, the one that dumped him, that said he was a nobody. And it looked like all was well and good, especially when Cyborg finally showed up. And let me just say, he said something I've finally been waiting to hear him say, and that was, "Booyah!" Yes, I've been waiting a long time to hear him say that. And it all looked like things were great. We would finally be able to go home. And they have now become an official superhero team that goes out and defeats all the freaking people, such as the Brotherhood of Evil. And this is where it turns into a time loop of facing one of Mr. Nobody's old robots that ended up keep on beating them constantly, like through laser blasts or stomping on them. But Niles started to realize this was all a time loop, and the cyborg that was with him all this time wasn't Cyborg. The real Cyborg showed up, and it turns out the cyborg that was with him during that time loop was actually Mr. Nobody. And yeah, it turns out he was doing all this. He's torturing all of them and telling them that they're, no matter what, they can't beat him no matter what. But there's a way for him to go away. And that's where it led into the thing that had to be known. The thing where, first off, let me just say, Mr. Nobody said it best himself, which when he said it reminded me back in WWE when R-Truth was in his heel mode, and then anytime he would come out, it would be, "The truth will set you free," or "set me free," something like that. Or maybe it was both. All I know is that he wanted Niles to reveal to the Doom Patrol the truth of everything. And yeah, well, now that it's revealed, all I gotta say is, has the truth set things free? I can say that it has been set free for Niles, but what's it gonna do to the team? You guys want to know what that truth is? And the truth is, Niles is the reason for everyone's accidents and cyborgs, but that one's a little different. He's really responsible for Crazy Jane, Larry, Rita, and Cliff's accidents. Dun 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 dun. So there you go, guys. It's been revealed to us. The truth is now out. The truth has set me free. Sorry, guys. I just love being able to say that because it just brings back those memories of R-Truth back when he entered in his heel turn and entering with that right there. So I just feel like saying that. But still, with that as the cliffhanger going into next week's episode, what's gonna happen now? Now, for those of you who have maybe read the comics or haven't read the comics, this did happen in the comics too. When Grant Morrison took over, he revealed how it was, yes, Niles who did it. And in the comics, the reason he caused those accidents is because he didn't like the people that they were, and by causing those accidents, he could make them be better people to take on some of these other weird people who are more antagonistic. Is that going to be the same explanation in next week's episode? Oh, who knows? Because I also saw the trailer for next week's episode, and well, it was really a rehash looking of all the previous clips. So it sounds like they're really going to keep this on the down low. DC's production team, who's been working on this show, is keeping it on the down low for the next episode. Like I said, guys, I can't say any of those words that'll say what we all know is coming next week because I just like this show too much to say that. But all we know is they're keeping it on the down low, and all we know is that maybe by the end of this episode, will they officially be called the Doom Patrol? Let's hope so. All I know is this was amazing, great episode, and how they structured it, especially that scene where they first attempted to go on the white space. That was something. But definitely also great Easter egg moments here and there. It was beautiful. But definitely, guys, great episode, and I hope all of you guys enjoyed it. This will be all for today, guys, and if you enjoy my videos, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!